Here we go.
Yes, I think I think we're good.
Okay.
Okay, all right, call the meeting to order. First, we'll give the pledge of allegiance.
But allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic that one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Public comment on the agenda. Has everybody had a chance to read the meeting minutes from the last week?
Yep.
All true? Motion approved. What's approved? Aye.
Aye.
Anyone against? All right, all right, reports and updates. We do have a small crowd here today, so might be sparse in the updates. Marketing and communications. We have a smart board donation, video recaps at the speakers. Rob, you want to talk about that?
I can talk about it. So I know we're trying it out right now, so we do have the new 55-inch video smart board. So this is Wi-Fi enabled, so it connects to the Wi-Fi here. It does have apps, whiteboard, so this should be able to be useful when we have speaker series. They can either plug in using HDMI, or they can mirror if they have either an iPhone. They can just mirror their phone if they want to share pictures, or their Mac, or their iPad. Same thing if you have an Android, you can do some, or if you have HDMI board, you can do screen share as well. So there's ways to do this. So it should help us out on that. The stand, I think, is pretty darn stable. So you can move it around. There is a camera on top. That's a pretty cheapo camera. You can always get a better one if you want, but it just plugs in. So we'll get to use it more. So I can tell everybody, I'll show how to use it, but just don't be afraid to hit a bunch of buttons and try it out. So there's almost no way to mess it up. So just hit buttons, play with it. There's a bunch of different apps on it, and see what you can do with it.
So you can cast from a phone.
Correct. Yeah. So you could share pictures or whatever just right from your phone. It'll show right up there. So when speakers have it or anything else, and it is like its own little big iPad. So you can go on YouTube on it. You can go on to Google and just search, and right from there it has its own sound system. So you can hear right from it. So that should make it a little bit easier for when we have speakers coming in. They have many options to connect.
This was a generous donation.
Yes, from Carl Speech, which is our speech and language. So which we're looking forward to. So that's my wife and I. Was maiden name is Carl Speech.
So Rob has really donated.
Yeah, that's correct.
So we do appreciate it, and I also hope to use it for exhibits, actually, to have some ideas about maybe having cards up there. Try to push the card and some exhibit will come up. So
yeah,
that's for future.
Do you use one at school?
I do not. I use that as a big projector, really. But
yeah. So this is right now. We do a Zoom app, and that's on the thing. So Zoom app, sign it on because it's Wi-Fi enabled, so you don't have to have anything else to be able to. And it does have a remote. But again, we'll do that in more detail. Just put it. Don't be afraid of put it through its paces. Hit a bunch of buttons.
And do you have something on the video recaps?
I mentioned this the Frank Arena recap.
Yeah,
we did with Frank. It's got over 900 plays on it.
Yeah.
And so I just want to say, like, the amplification that happens, like, we might get 30, 40 people here for a speech, but then you get like over 1,000 plays on that little brief summary. And so I just think it's great. It's a great amplification. You do a good job of keeping it very short to the point, and it just amplifies. So I just think we continue to do those, because those continue to go well, even better than I ever expect. We get a great number of plays.
Yeah, and then just and Farino is very popular, and I think the timing of that presentation was unfortunate because it was at the first day of school, and I think a lot more people would have liked to have seen it, would have liked to have been here. I can tell by just how many views it's got, how much attention it got. So and Frank says he'd come back with a different flavor of a presentation, maybe we'll do that, again. But, and he'd change it up and bring other people in. Anyway, yeah, but, good, we appreciate all the work.
Yeah.
We got the budget report here, and I do have, our budget with me, and we are a little bit behind in presenting our budget proposal to the town council, but that's what I plan to kind of settle at some point this evening, or at least get something in on that. So then we have, so we'll look at that a little bit later. Programming, again, Rob.
Oh, yeah, so
Rob,
there's actually 4 potential new speakers, so just want to run this out for next year. These are ones that we haven't had. So the first speaker that we would have would be in February, is what we're looking at, and that would be the Moonshot Museum. So that's the one that's attached to Astro Robotic. So it would be the final frontier in Pittsburgh's role in the space race. And it's the real deal. So I think it's going to be an exciting one. They will tailor it to the type of audience we have. So that's one of them. The second one is Parkview Writing Academy, which is right across the street. So that's Wanda Haney. And they also have
Parkview,
excuse me,
Parkview, oh, Parkview.
yeah, Parkview. I think that I didn't make sure I got the right names. I'll have to double check. I got it.
Thanks, that's Parkview, yes.
Yeah. But it's that family farm it's been in her family for generations, and so it's like a whole big history. Plus, they do the riding for the handicap, which I think is an incredible program. It's just an absolutely astonishing thing to see. So I worked there. Oh, okay, I'm sure you had did you have very advanced teaching people jumping and everything?
No,
Yeah.
we were mostly
Cool stuff.
cleaning up and
Okay, very. I just want to stick out for like.
volunteer here.
And then
Student.
Oh,
Handicap.
just thirdly is. Yeah, thirdly, I've been in contact with Chris Green, and I know I've sent a few emails on this. He's economist at University of Pitt. In fact, you see Wall Street Journal this week. He's quoted in it. So all the national mags go to him for industry trends in the Pittsburgh area. And so tentatively have him for June of this year. It's not a full commitment just yet, because he said that's far out there. So it's like, all right. So put him on the list. And the last one that's not on the list here is Steel City Improv. And the owner of that is a Westford resident. And talk about the history of comedy and improvisational comedy in particular within the Pittsburgh area. And Steel City Improv does lots of stuff around corporate training programs as well. Very similar to what I'm used to in Chicago. But those are 4 new ones. So if anybody can always go afterwards, we're not committed to any of those. But those are 4 potentials. So if folks could think on those, if they have any feedback afterwards, feel free. But they're not committed just yet.
Rob, on that Moonshot Museum, do they have any exhibits that they can bring in here that we can put on display?
I don't know. I will ask them though. That's a great question.
Yeah.
That is a great.
Good. All right, yeah, that's fantastic. Thanks again for doing that work.
Sure.
And I have a couple of things in line. Hopefully, we get a couple of other speakers, so we'll have a pretty good full speaker series for next year. So
we got requested to have a North Park photography group again too.
yes, that's right. Yeah, and that's something we have to talk about as events for next year. But I think we'll do some of that planning. When we have some more time, maybe after we're done with the season.
It was nice to have a request.
Yes, it is. Yeah, and I'd love to do the North Park thing. I was, I think, attended and well received. So, all right, and volunteers. Suzanne, you're more in contact with the volunteers than anybody else, I think.
Yeah, actually, Betty wasn't able to be here today, so she had asked, is there a website set up to give people when she's talking to them about the gala?
Oh, yeah, it's on the town site.
It's on the town website as
It's events.
to go to it now, and it's fixed. So if you want to register, you don't have to have an email.
Okay,
You did, but I
um,
think John fixed.
so they can do everything and they can submit their
Yes,
checks or
yes.
charges to that, okay.
Okay.
Um. I see, okay. And our direct payments, will they be made out to the town of McCandless? Is there anything more than that?
You just put in the memo, the HCC gala.
Okay,
And Betty deserves a lot of credit for what she's done in a very short period of time. She's done a lot of good work.
Yeah,
I got a call today from somebody who's donating a basket. And I think she read about it in the Northern Connection. And I think that, I don't know whether, Kevin put that in there. I think I'm right about it, but Betty wants to put ads in the Northern Connection. She's gonna, because, her dad was connected with it and she's gonna get all his, written, every month he had a written,
Peace.
Yeah.
piece, right, and she's gonna get that for us. So this lady, I was surprised, where it came from. And that's it, I think.
So I just want to say that we need several volunteers up here for Community Day, the evening of Community Day, and they did a wonderful job taking care of folks who came in, and we had over 100 people come to the door.
102.
Yeah, so
Great job.
yeah, and a lot of people that hung around and with their kids color, or they looked at the exhibits, and I got to talk to quite a few people as they walked through and tell them about the exhibits, tell them about the move north, and people seem to be generally impressed and
Yeah.
very happy. Yeah. So that was nice. It was a good feeling. We I'd like to thank the folks from Evans City, the Historical Society. They brought their van out. I'm sorry, they brought their replica trolley car in, and they talked to a lot of people out there.
And they could do a presentation too. Okay.
Yeah, I spoke to him and hope to do more work with them. And,
They're gonna send us the newsletter.
okay.
They have a monthly newsletter.
They said there is a trolley car that was saved from the Harmony line, but it's down at the trolley museum.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, they have a real one?
Yeah, but it hasn't been refurbed yet.
Wow.
So it's in the,
Online, the cars.
yeah, a long line of things, but
Yeah.
and once it is, it's in picture.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah.
as a community game, we just had that hot dog show
Oh.
that we had over at the choir cruise.
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
We made $133, which is less than we made the year before.
It was
When Joe picked up the money, we were talking about that. Where we were located, we were all the way at one end of a very long building.
Mhm.
But in the front, they had cars going all the way up. Next year, we should be more toward in the center section,
Mhm.
in the middle, sort of where the band is, somewhere in that general area. And I think we missed a lot of people, probably didn't even know we were there.
Mhm.
So,
Oh, that's a good thing. It means it was a big event.
yeah. Yeah, we were just, we just didn't make as much as we did the year before.
They said the chips and what else did you have? Oh, pop, yeah.
Chips, pop, water, hot dogs, and
And-
everything is about.
Somebody said that was too much. People would get a hot dog and then not wanting to spend another buck for a glass.
That's what you
Said,
can tell you, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Place.
yeah.
Talking about some of the stuff like, we're having the budget up there, I would like to, have some of this budget that's for events money for events, that we can, that we can spend, is, so we can set up some of these events that we want to have, it's small, so, that's just one item that I want to talk about with the budget eventually, to be more clear that we have so much money to prepare for this. And this year, this summer, we weren't really able to do events because of all the sort of turmoil, turnover, when it came and how that happened, kind of cut into our ability to have events like we've had in the past. But I think when we shut down in that period of time, was talk about some of those events and plan to have a few more next year. And we did, and we have a little bit more of a full board now. Betty, but we had some empty spots. We still do have a couple empty spots on the board. It's not full.
Still have one.
We still have empty spots on the board. We don't have a full complement. On the board. So that's that cuts into what we can do because we only have so many people. We only have so much time.
Yeah, and that Saturday is always, although I like John Biffler will take your Sunday sometimes, or he will take my Friday and work Saturday. No, I work Saturday. He takes my Friday. He can't, but I think he wants to be involved.
Yeah, good, good. He's very knowledgeable and I'm talking to the guys from the coin club, and they're talking about maybe coming in here, and we would need a volunteer, I think, to open up the door for them on.
Did they say how often they would meet?
Once a month, I think.
Okay.
So they
Well, you just had a
construction going on in Northland, so they need a place to meet. I'd love to have them in here, it just brings people in. Absolutely.
Like kids as well.
Yeah. Well, that's what he said that he did. He didn't think you could do the kids here. I'm trying to get him to say, well, can you pare it down? Well, but we'll see. We'll see. I think it's a very interesting group. I think it'd be a good connection. And that's another, and they could present too. And I think people would be interested in what they, people who are interested in this type of place would very much be interested in what's the right name for new Newsmax? Thank you. Oh wow, that's a good thought. Yeah. I am impressed. Yes, very good. Yes, I use it. Is that right? It's
Can I mention something? We need a contract for people who are going to use the museum. The ladies in Longview Acres asked me, at the beginning of the year, send us a contract, and that's the only reason I thought of it. And with these people that, if we're going to let people use the museum, I think that's a good way to do it. And
it's good policy to have contracts here.
It's in the core document.
Is it?
That's how we created it at the beginning.
We'll take a look at it.
Oh, yeah.
If not, we'll do have $1,500 for the town sign. Maybe they can work one out. I think that does. We'll take a look at it. Okay. Good point. Yeah. All right. Jukebox.
Chris was going to come here a couple weeks ago. Unfortunately, he had to cancel. So the update is no update.
Okay.
Till we get some more time again, it has not been touched since last time.
Okay. The EPMC speaker and Passavant, been very disappointing that we had to cancel the osteoporosis talk. We just didn't have enough interest in it. They advertised it, we advertised it.
I think screening would make a difference.
And that's
just come for a reason.
Maybe they would do some screening next time. So, and I do think people would come if they offered free screening.
Keep in mind that demographic.
Yeah.
We start heading into the fall.
Right. Yeah. This would be probably back. This would be moved to the spring sometime. And if we do it, I don't know if it was a topic maybe the topic isn't that interesting, I don't know. But like I said, I thought that we just advertised, but then when I spoke to them, they said they advertised it too, so. You know, it wasn't, necessarily just, our fault or something like that, but, I think, you know, it might be part of, you know, was topic. People are that interested. It's your process.
I think they would come for the screening.
Yeah.
But I don't know that people think there's a lot, maybe I'm wrong. That there's a whole lot that they need to know more about the osteoporosis.
Yeah.
Do you think? I mean, kind of,
I mean, the evidence would suggest not, you know, so. You did have a lot of, kind of good amount come for the all.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. That's, I think it sounds strange, it's a little bit more of a sexy topic. If you want to put it that way. All right, the gala update, like, we've already kind of mentioned, Betty has really taken charge, and I think, Don is meeting with them, yeah, and helping out, and,
Yep.
and Joe's,
And John's been helpful too. And
doing a lot of work, yeah,
Financial. And
so that's fantastic, it's great.
And everything with the Chadwick is all set.
awesome.
Move the deposit.
And Joe said that he had sent out the information, I guess. I forget what he called it.
Oh, press release,
What is it?
press release.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, that was, he just told me that on the phone.
good. What's the situation, does anybody know, I don't know, about, volunteers being able to attend?
That was one of my questions.
Yeah.
Will they be able to get a free dinner like they did?
Yeah, depends how many tables that people
Well,
buy, they're not gonna attend, you know,
Yeah.
they're not gonna use them all.
I don't think anybody's thinking about bringing spouses. We're just gonna run the tables. So, that's all we were planning on doing.
Well, they did last year.
They did, yes, but I don't think, I haven't heard that they were gonna do that. So that would just be like 5 or 6 people.
And there's a subcommittee meeting next week, so we can
Yeah.
definitely,
So I would hope that that any volunteer that wanted to go would be able to go.
Yeah.
Since it's supposed to be a celebration for center. All right, but good, yeah, like I said, Betty really has done what she said she was gonna do, and taking charge there.
She has a daughter making up cards to put in the baskets and doing a lot of the printing that we
professional level.
at least have to do.
Good.
You guys decided on a menu too.
Yes, and if anybody sees it,
Everything's done.
if you see that, then one person said to me they're having shots for dessert. And she said, liquor for dessert? I guess these are in little cups. And they call them shots. So don't panic. I think you're one of
Is
those
it
out
Jello?
there.
I'm wondering if we know ice cream.
All right, and then I don't know if we're really even ready to vote on the budget proposal because I haven't really been able to talk to folks about it. But I'll just say, like I said, I'd like to do some things with the budget to make it a little bit easier to understand. I mean, it's not that difficult to understand. It's just that we also have some of the gala, the stuff that's really earmarked for the gala is in here. So it kind of gets in the way of knowing, you know, what the actual
What's left over.
what the actual operating monies that are available to us. Because if some of it's really earmarked for the gala, then I can't really use it for every day.
Like if we're gonna have a photography show, we had wine and cheese for that.
Yeah.
And that was
So one of the things I'd like to do is get sort of an events budget
Mhm.
item line. I'd like to get, and I would like to, so I'd like to get the gala stuff, just separated from it, and on its own little budget line, and maybe pull down from there. See what how
Can you
that
put
should
that
be
in
sort
there?
of, that should be its
And
own
that's what I was
thing.
gonna say is that this is just a portion that comes from the town's budget, and so however y'all wanna take and allocate those individual lines out. For instance, we talked about previously in a previous meeting that the advertising line is actually the gala line. And so that $3,000 is hyphen for the gala. Some of the operating supplies are for some of your speaker series and things to that nature. I do have to caution you that I have to go to council with this budget October 15th, which is before your next meeting.
So we have time to talk about that after this meeting.
So if you were going to make contributions to that conversation, I need that number by the September 30th. Because I'm going to town manager on September 30th and I will be out of town for the next week and a half.
Which we can get a similar budget next year.
Unless you tell me after this meeting otherwise, yes, that's my plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's something that, so I didn't, that's interesting because you said that, operating supplies is where money for the speakers.
Some of the speaker series, when we pay for instance, I believe the African-American speaker that, not the
Indigenous person.
the Indigenous American
Miguel,
person. I believe that his cost came out of that line item. If not, it's, it's one of those other ones that we highlighted previously that I said that were set by this committee versus the ones that the town sets because of operating of overhead. So in the previous last meeting, when I gave you the two-toned budget report, the ones in your colors that you could set, you could certainly put money how you want to into those line items.
Yeah, okay, good. Because I'd like to see a line item that just said like speaker series, so we know that this is what we have for the speaker series, rather than being kind of.
But it's operating expenses gonna give you more flexibility.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think what it would be is define it. To write it as operating expenses, but then you can put the subheadings, what you can use your phone.
Okay.
I'd rather give you more options.
And that gives you more options on where you can use it.
Okay, but I just, okay, that wasn't readily apparent to me, because when I thought about operating expenses, I wasn't thinking about. That would be the speakers. But I would think of that more of. Stuff that we do for exhibits. And then, I think like there's some things like, I just bought that, document scanner. And I don't see it on here, so I don't know.
And I checked with, if it's come in,
Yeah.
it should be on that report. If you're still waiting for it to arrive, then it probably hasn't been paid for yet, so then it hasn't hit the report yet.
No, it is, it's here, so, okay, so it hasn't arrived, but okay, we'll look at
And
that.
then it's probably in one of those numbers.
Okay, good, okay, and then, so, I mean, at this point, we've spent, from what I can read here, 22% of the budget, so I think, we've been, pretty good with the money. Most of it's operating, just having the lights on,
Yeah,
so,
well, our activities will really decrease this year.
that's true, that's true.
We're gonna do Christmas and we're gonna have some of these, senior citizens coming in, and I wondered if we could have a Kobe tray or something like that and add that to the, make it a little more festive for them.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about some of that, and, yeah, we'll,
Believe Mr. Wall is estimating the gala at about $4,500, $4,600.
Profit.
No, expenditure wise, cost wise.
Well, basically,
He's expecting revenue around 10 grand.
yeah, I was gonna say, we have that covered, if it's some, that amount, yeah.
So, I mean, like he said, there's only 22%, 33%, coming out of that budget at this point with, if you annualize the operating cost, the overhead cost. So, we can pull from different line items as needed, but, we just can't go over.
all right, so I think that's all we have.
Can I ask you? I asked one of the volunteers to they have gone to the senior citizens. And she's been asking me, can we get a letter? Can we get a letter to give to the recreation directors and stuff? She did this and I wondered what you think of it and what you can, I'm sorry, I didn't give it to you before. If put our our logo on it and, you know, see, I mean, I thought it was, at least we got one done.
And who discussion?
They would go to the senior citizens. They've already gone to Waters who really want to come back at Christmas.
Okay,
They've gone to, what are the other ones?
That's perfect.
We have probably about three of them. Huh?
It's perfect because you can get a minibus right to the door. Everything.
Yeah, and we're, you know,
Yeah, I dropped off flyers for Miguel Segay,
oh, did you?
at a couple of those places, and, I don't know if we got that. I have no
Mhm.
idea, but those folks came, and. Yeah, I want to get more, if all we really need to do is get the contact at those places.
Yeah.
And then just send them the
Yeah,
flyer.
that's a good idea.
Oh.
They have actually gone in person though, which
Yeah.
is really good.
And I actually did try to, the lady gave me the brain,
So,
email address, I just, I couldn't, I just writing it down, I asked her for clarification, I still got the wrong email
Oh.
address, so I don't know what the heck happened to that, but. What that, I think that's a good place for, us, you know, if we can get into those places,
yeah.
I think those people, would be very, happy to come out and do this.
Okay. Is that okay to go out like that? If we put
Seems like, now, who put this together?
that was Ruth who put it together, and I don't know if she chose the large print because of the because of who it goes to. I don't know whether it's, yeah, I.
There. Trifle.
Yeah, and Ruth, and just, you mentioned Ruth, and she's just wonderful, she puts all these signs together, she's,
Yeah.
fantastic, so. Great, yeah, I think that's a good idea. So then we'll talk more about that later. I think that's all the business that we really have to discuss, right?
Yeah.
Anybody have anything else?
no,
Anybody wanna,
Gonna just ask,
Yeah.
I appreciate what Rob has done with the screen.
yeah,
You want to acknowledge the donation in any way?
Oh,
Any kind of check?
that would be what? I want to. Oh, yeah, that would be. We.
yeah.
Sure.
It's there is an expense to it when you do that, but I think you get
If we
some
can send-
mileage.
yeah.
Yeah, you want social media.
You can send John up on Friday if you guys want to put something together. and have him
Yeah.
post it.
I'll contact it, it's a great. And that would be. Yeah, that would be a welcome bonus to.
How do you guys do that at the library?
It depends on what it is. I mean, we have a program for all memorial.
Little metal plaques and stuff.
Um,
I've seen them.
yeah.
Yeah, but this is like just recognition on social media would be awesome, like that.
It's the elegance and awards down in very,
Okay.
very good.
I had been talking to Dan about seeing if we could get somebody else on the to work the sign, not that John is,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, but he's home with sick kids and everything. And we don't have any Westview advertising. And I think that at least two people should be on that. I wondered if Abby's the person that could be,
well,
is that correct?
Abby was on that in the beginning.
Right, right.
And gone.
Yeah.
And also,
And I was now, and just there's a little history here, Abby was on that, when I asked for it, Brian O'Malley told me no, I couldn't have it. As long as well as Facebook page,
yeah.
so.
And the reason you said you can't, the Facebook page, he can't be interactive.
Yeah, it does.
You know,
it gets
Can't
in
get
the
back
way
to
of,
somebody right away.
reacting to people who do post on Facebook,
Mhm.
we say something in the comments, or me, it's just unfortunate, it's the way that I work on inspiration, so I don't usually have things planned out a month ahead of time. I'll
Mhm.
say, oh, let me put this.
Yeah,
up
we're
there.
doing this.
But they want to control what goes out there.
I don't understand that.
But yeah, we probably don't want to get into
Okay.
too much of that, but that, just so you know, that was,
I don't want access to
yeah,
ours.
yeah. But anyway, yeah, well, but, and John, and saying that, I wanna make sure that everybody, so John's done a great job. You know, whatever I've asked John to do on the Facebook page, he's put up there, he's done it right away. But it's kind of, it's, you know, it's like.
You
little
kind of need
triangulation.
another person, two people.
Yeah, but yeah, I agree with you there. I think we had two people, especially on the sign,
Mhm.
when John had,
Yeah.
obviously,
Issues.
issues, we don't have to bother him
Mhm.
at home. Again, but again, even, and I will say, John, just to make sure that everybody understands, even when he's homesick with his kids or something like that, he's been very, good about putting
He's
stuff.
all, he'll take phone calls from me anytime, you know, and he's really great. It's just that I think that's a big responsibility, you know. You don't want to give everybody hope and mouth disease.
Yeah, right. I have foot and mouth disease, so. But anyway, if, unless there's more business, if somebody wants to make a movement to adjourn.
I'm making a movement to adjourn.
Second, all right, here. Anybody against? Very good. I will appreciate your work on this.